Oh, am
Is she?
Why not?
I think this is kind of a
Well,
tool
she's the volunteer.
that has to do with precision as well, to make sure that everything is balanced correctly. A
What kind of a tool did you say it was?
It's a
Miles?
level, but you called it something different.
Torpedo
A
level.
torpedo level. I've never heard of that before, and my housemate who loaned this to me for today didn't say that it was a torpedo level, but
We probably didn't know.
You hear it being a torpedo level? Yeah.
really?
What is a torpedo
Because it's
level?
small, because it's a
It's a
small.
It's a smaller level that you can put on, you can put it on a string and it's easier to, or like that, as opposed to the regular large.
4-footer.
Yeah, he wanted to give me the 4-footer or the 6-footer. I said, no, I'll take the smallest one.
Well, the smallest one, I mean, the reason why, do you have any idea why you picked the smallest one?
It's easier to
Carry.
handle, it's easier to carry, it's less cumbersome.
It's easier to control.
Actually, it's harder to control.
We're talking to Kent.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Two perfectionists sitting beside each other.
I know,
That has to do with your perfectionism.
it's my
I
nature, I'm a
have-
Virgo.
Well, you you can use that excuse if you want to.
Okay.
That's fine, I'm not gonna try and take that away from you.
Okay.
But it really has to do with your being perfect. And it has to do with you having to line everything up the right way. Everything has to be in order, you know, and you have to be able to. The torpedo part is that if it's not in order, you're like a torpedo. And you go,
Feel so sorry for Diane.
I wouldn't worry about Diane, I'm sure Diane can take care of herself.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think it's an interesting tool that you brought with you. And the thing about a tool like that, having it in your life, there's nothing wrong with it. If there's nothing wrong with it if it's not causing you a problem. The only problem that it would cause you is that, and this is for everybody, when we're perfectionists, it has to do with the feelings of not being good enough. And because when you have the feelings of not being good enough, nothing is ever good enough, so there goes the perfectionist. So you constantly keep trying to be perfect because of that core feeling of not being good enough. It's a false belief system that somewhere along the line that we adopted or made an absolute decision about when we were growing up about not being good enough, okay? And of course the measure is a great way to remind you that you're not being good enough if it's not all lined up and if it's not all perfect. So you can also use that tool to tell you it's perfect the way it is. All you have to do is sit it on your desk, it'll be in perfect balance, and remind yourself everything is in perfect balance. You can use it for that kind of a tool too.
You have an interesting way of just summing things right up, getting right to the point.
That's my job. There you go. Okay. Yes, Marcia. Ah, the hard hat. And we've shrunken it. Is that good or bad?
Well, right now I'm playing with it.
Okay, why'd you pick the hard hat?
Because it's mine.
And we know it's yours.
Um,
What does it represent to you?
Protection.
So when did you make that absolute decision that you needed protection in your mind from others?
I don't know. Probably a couple decades ago.
And the big sign across the fort is, nobody's going to tell me what to do.
That's right.
That's
Stop
right.
laughing.
And I've got the hard hat to prove it. Because nobody gets through my hard hat.
Or head. Hard-headed too.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, There's actually nothing wrong with that, it's just that you have to become aware that while it's protecting you, it's also not allowing all the good things to come in. And realize that, go back there where you made the absolute decision what you had to protect yourself from, so that you can change that energy. And now you wear it to protect you for a different reason. You wear it to protect you because you use it at work. But also now you don't have to wear it all the time, you can just choose when you're going to wear it. And that will allow you to be softer and more open to listening. Because it does block out some of the good things as well. And that's all it has to do. And you take a certain amount of pride of being hard-headed.
Would you like to borrow my cube and?
And Bruce loves you unconditionally.
You could round the edges with this.
Well, you can borrow her hard hat. And she can borrow the cubes. There you go.
Just don't mess it up.
Linear, concrete, sequential.
Yes, exactly. So don't mess
Go,
it up.
go for it.
Well, of course, he's telling you that to make sure you do mess it up, because he knows you're not going to listen.
See?
Because don't tell me what to do.
Well, either that or he'll try to fix it for me.
Well, of course, and of course, you're not going to let him do that. Absolutely not. Then you really get the hard hat on. So what you do in a case like that is, when he wants to fix it for you, you go get the hard hat and you put it on him. And you just say, go for it. Then tell me how's that working for you. Or just give him a job he can fix. He likes to fix things. Yeah, so you don't have to give anything up, just give him a job he can fix. Now, if he's trying to fix you, that's a whole different story. I have to see you both